Hey folks, and welcome to another video blog for Don't Cry Wolf. As always, I'd love to see your comments, so please do leave some comments in the comment section below. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see a grown man cry, by all means give this a thumbs down. This week I attended the Guardian Changing Media Summit. It's a fantastic event that looks at trends, the changing media landscape, and how advertisers, marketers and communicators are responding to that, as well as, of course, the brands themselves. And this year we're also treated to a healthy amount of discussion around sex robots. But it's a big event, so rather than go through all of the content from the day, what I thought I'd do is give you my 3 top takeaways. Okay, so the first one is tech is not the story anymore. We've become inundated with algorithms and bits and bytes, and a lot of brands have decided to kind of put that at the forefront of their campaigns and sacrifice the creativity or the meaningful story that should be at the heart of what they're doing. But this is changing. A lot of discussion was on the fact that we're actually moving back to a position where quality comes first. And of course, this is being driven by the audience. Audiences are fed up. They're bored with bits and bytes and algorithms. They've lost trust in social media platforms and gained trust in quality journalism and rich content. And brands need to respond. So before you look to host another VR event where the coolest thing there is the shit coffee that you serve in the queues whilst people wait to put the headsets on, ask yourself, is this the best experience I could possibly provide? Is this credible? Number 2, try being the change rather than talking about it. There was a fantastic talk from Cindy Gallop, who I highly recommend you go and seek out, listen to her talks, read her work. Absolutely inspirational. One of the key points from her speech was around the fact that a lot of brands are choosing to make a lot of noise about some big topics: environment, social responsibility, diversity, rights. But talking about these things is the easy part. Affecting change internally within these brands is much, much harder. There comes a time when we have to eat our own dog food. We've got cash, creativity and clout. We should be using those in order to actually affect change internally. Comms professionals, marketers, we've got a fantastic role to play in all of this. The next time a brand or your boss or your client comes up to you and says, let's do a campaign around X, Y, and Z social responsibility movement, your first question should be, are we actually doing this ourselves internally now? If not, then try and orchestrate that change. Yes, a lot of brands have produced a lot of great content to raise the awareness of issues that we face today. And that is a great thing. But it's much more powerful for a brand to actually look internally and make a real change towards diversity and inclusion and examine some of those policies and make that beneficial change, rather than for them to just put 2 gay people on a billboard. I'm not saying don't address these issues. I'm saying address these issues from a platform of credibility. Third one, transparency is everyone's problem. Now, you can't move in PR for all the hatred and vitriol around AVE, or you have to swim through oceans of tears as people cry about the fact that they can't measure their campaigns. Thankfully, this is everyone's problem. In the wider marketing world, if you throw programmatic and the CMO of P&G into the mix, then it becomes a real big issue. Whilst it's very endearing and lovely to see Mark Pritchard of Procter & Gamble stand up in front of a load of people and say that he's going to be slashing budgets and that actually it's time to change, and that really they've been kind of duped into spending money on digital advertising platforms which hasn't had any accountability or transparency. That's all well and good, Mark, but it's your fault as well. Brands were happy to sacrifice transparency in favour of volume and in favour of better, cheaper prices. Media agencies loved flogging stuff that they didn't have to be accountable for, and tech firms really enjoyed making all of this happen. Everybody is accountable for the cock-ups in transparency. Now everybody should be accountable for making a difference and for making this work. So what do you think about these 3 things? Do you think brands are ultimately responsible for transparency? Do you think tech is still going to dominate a brand's agenda and that it will still be at the forefront of a lot of these campaigns that we're going to see? Do marketers, advertisers and brands have a responsibility to actually affect change and be the change themselves before talking about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's get a discussion started on this. Do leave some comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.